Let's hear it for that!
Where do we go?
Up and out yourself. It's a little bit tight.
I'm not painkilling up though.
This kid played under Kevin Keegan in 1996 with Alan Shearer and Espria.
Yeah.
The shoulders popped out, absolute nightmare.
I've only played for certain managers.
Very nice to see you, John. I mean that, mate.
Cheers, thanks, Steve.
It's an absolute honour. It's an absolute honour. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to get straight into this, chaps. We've got the crowds waiting here today, and obviously everyone's very intrigued to hear about your role at this year's Rock and Roll Circus. But before we turn to Steve, I've got a few questions for John, if that's okay. So, 20 years since the Reverend first graced our musical landscape. Did you ever think it would last this long, and how emotional are you that you've got this amazing concert upcoming at Don Valley Bowl this August?
I mean, no, I didn't. In answer to your question, no, I didn't think we'd ever last 20 years. I think you think you're going to be sort of. You never think you're going to be in a band at 40 odd, do you? So it's amazing to still be here and seem to have been having a good few years, last few years. Very excited to be, an honour to be asked to headline Rock and Roll Circus. And it's obviously an emotional day for me and my family, my brother Chris, who sadly couldn't be here today, and my mum. We lost my dad early on last year, so emotional time for family last year or so. And hopefully we put on a good show and do what my dad would have loved, which is have a good drink and a party.
Fantastic. And in terms of what people can expect from this year's event, obviously it's curated by yourself. I mean, you must be absolutely buzzing to curate your own show. It's one big Sheffield fuel party. Can you tell us a little bit about the lineup and why it's going to mean a lot to you?
If I'm honest, I'm kind of wilding out on the power trip of being able to pick bands, to be honest. I love it. Steve's like, you can pick bands. I'm like, amazing. So, obviously, Groove Armada, I've been a big fan of. Anybody who knows me knows I've been a raver in my time, so I love them. Pete and Carl are great friends of mine. I've just been on a tour in Australia with them. Libertines are a great band. My brother Chris loves them. And then a lot of the winners, obviously, I collaborated. We had that great hit last year with them. So they're good pals of mine. Heavily Pregnant Brothers, Laura plays with them, and they're obviously friends. Banksy and Pete and them lads are good friends of mine. It's great. It's gonna be, you know, and obviously Dave Fever's there, which is a thing that I do with Chris and Jim O'Hara and Johnny Owen and Vicky, and that's been a runaway success. So to have that as part of it, feels it's like a family thing, you know, like it's all things, either people who I love personally, or I love the music and whatever. So I think it's gonna be class. I can't wait.
It's going to be fantastic. And just while we're on the subject, we've obviously got a very special guest in here, the assistant manager of the world famous Royal Oak FC. Mm-hmm. Just before I ask a question to Steve, is it annoying you that you're getting this doppelganger comparison for the actual manager of Royal Oak FC? I've been seeing that making some headlines of late.
It's mad, you know. Like, obviously, everybody keeps saying you look like him, that Paul Sampson. And Steve he doesn't look unlike my brother actually. So it's funny. And my mum met both. Steve, I believe you met my mum at snooker.
Lovely woman, really nice.
Yeah, so Steve met my mum at snooker overnight. So there's a lot of Sheffield's like that. You call it biggest village in
what he means is inbred, mate. He means inbred.
I thought he said he'd met your dad.
That'd be a fucking comeuppance. It's 6 foot under, mate.
And just on that, folks, obviously we've got the legend that is Steve Bracknall here, the Sunday League's answer to Pep Guardiola. I think a lot of people, Steve, will be intrigued as to why you're here. Is it true that you're going to be the ringmaster of this year's Rock and Roll Circus, and how did that come about?
Before I start, mate, I know you've got press start, and I know what their job is, to trip me up. So I'm guarded. Alright, I'm not media trained like Leicester and like Arteta last night. But I'll be open and transparent, and I hope they trust me and I'll trust them. We'll start off on a good footing. Ringmaster. They used to call it compare. So, but when Terry and June, landlord and landlady, they might go away. He's bought a caravan now in Chapel St Leonard's. Great nice. The 6th birth. Behind Maid Marian. Willoughby. And when they go there, I do quiz night and I do bingo at Royal Oak. So I've got some experience at holding court. Well, I'm doing it today. So there'll be nerves, no doubt, but it's only the same as Sunday League when you go into a big match and I'll say, embrace your nerves. So I can't wait, get me up here.
And to your fans out there, Royal Oak FC fans in this country, globally as well, they might be a little bit concerned that this new Ringmaster role might be the start of something a little bit different for you career-wise. What have you got to say to those critics?
It's about diversifying. See him, that KSI, he's got that pride now, hasn't he? For his business, other businesses. But now, only problem I've got is you have to wear fucking bifocals to see my name on poster. And let's be frank, they've messed up, because since it got announced, I fucking rocketed. So, eggs on their face, not mine, so I'd have redesigned it myself. But each to their own.
And just on that as well, obviously, this is a new move for you. The pressures of Sunday League football has been well documented. We've got cost of crisis living. It's a very expensive sport these days. Is this, fans are worried that this is going to be a long-term move for you. How can you reassure them that this is not going to be something that you're going to do long-term and give up your post at Royal Oak FC?
When is it? Saturday?
Saturday, 30th of August.
Yeah.
So it's not Sunday, is it?
That's very true.
Well, no, that's all to do about nothing. I train on a Tuesday night and I play on a Sunday. What I do in between is my fucking choice. Paul Sampson, Bob the Bucket, Tommy out, they won't do any media. Granted, they want a private life. I've fronted the club up, no problem.
Fantastic. Well, I couldn't have put it better myself, Steve. And just back over to you, John. And this is a question from a fan that's recently wrote. One of your songs was a letter to your 21-year-old self. What would a letter to your 43-year-old self say?
It's you're doing all right, John. Keep going, pal. You're Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption. You're in it for life now, pal.
Yeah. I love that. That's beautiful. And you mentioned before about collaborations, lottery winners being one. Yeah. If you could collaborate on other things, if you had an ideal collaboration, what would that be and why?
I've done a couple, actually, but my two press officers who I have for my band and for my record label are at pains to express that I'm not allowed to tell anybody today, but I've done two collaborations with two megastars, so hopefully you'll be hearing that in the near future. But I like collaborating. I've collaborated all the way through my career. So on my first album, there's all people from the scene that we came from. Alex Turner and Ladana Milburn and Bromwich Jacket, and Jim O'Hara actually sings on landlord of this place, gaffer of this place. He sings on one of my songs. But there's a friend of ours who's getting married on August 30th, and there's a few of our crew who are going to his wedding in Spain. This is Lewis from Milburn, and Jim's sold me out and he's going to a wedding, innit? So, so maybe I'll have Bratton sing his bit. Fancy it, Steve?
I want a World Cup song for next year, Rev.
Oh, we can collaborate. Let's have a chat.
Been a while since.
What are you looking for? World in Motion, 3 lines.
It's not with emotion, yeah. They're all classic, like World in Motion, 3 lines. They've got before heartstrings, not all tacky.
Let me get guitar out when I get home.
Alright, mate.
Right.
Sorry, chaps, I couldn't help but notice we do have a Sheffield United fan in our midst and a former Premier League footballer. You mentioned earlier, Steve, that Rock and Roll Circus is about diversity. Your new role is about diversity as well. Are people like John Beresford welcome in this establishment and welcome to come to Rock and Roll Circus?
Well, rumour were when I was growing up, they lived down Ecclesfield, was that right?
Oh, we're
So we lived at Wednesday end of town.
Yeah.
And they all, so are you a Blade?
I am, but I'm Parkhill Flats.
I kept that very quiet, mate.
I've always liked you, Bez. I can't believe this.
That's why your shoulder popped out. It's called
is.
karma.
And first person to call me was David Hurst, just to take the piss. Yeah, so, yeah.
There you go.
Well, we'll go
Top player, by the way. Top player.
class. A silky left back. Yeah. And you've been down to Don Valley this morning to have a little look around. A question for you, Steve. What was the playing surface like, and do you think it's going to be suitable for this year's event?
I've got issue with it, if I'm frank with you. We saw what happened with Sam Wines at Hillsborough Park. They turned it into a mud bath. He's putting tents up now at Don Valley. Everyone's got a vendetta against grass. And it's no wonder that I'm seeing plastic pitches all over it, Shannon. Football were meant to be played on grass. It should always be played on grass. I refuse to play it on 4G pitches because when I come home, Nicky finds them black bits all over the house. And I'm up at 8:11 fucking hoovering it. So, go on, go and ruin another fucking lovely piece of grass and go and play your guitar on it. No problem.
And another question, Steve, for you. This comes from a fan, and it's circus related. It says, who at Royal Oak FC would make the best fire breather, and who's getting launched out of the cannon?
Well, you'd only have to put a lighter to my number 10's mouth on a Sunday morning, you'd have a fucking inferno, mate. Sambuca's till about 8:40 in the morning, it's flammable. Nothing.
And there you have it. And just back over to you, John, in terms of your fans in Sheffield and Yorkshire and beyond, what can they expect from this year's Rock and Roll Circus, the Reverend Day on August the 30th, and what message do you have for them?
Well, it's going to be an event that's going to be, anybody who's ever seen us knows we bring a big party. It's going to be a big sing-along party. Friends, family, we're going to make you sing, dance, bit emotional. We're going to have a tribute to my dad. There's going to be Steve's assured me there's going to be a Jon McClure senior bar. And I'd really like to meet your mate, Paul Sampson, and have my photo up with him. Maybe you could meet my brother Chris. And
that's going to be an interesting one to settle.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just to, because obviously everybody tells us we look alike, so it'd be nice to meet them. My mum's going to be there, and just friends, family, Sheffield community. Hopefully we can fill that tent and just give Sheffield a good old party. And I think for 50 quid, you're not going to get a better party this summer.
And one thing that I forgot to ask just before I get Steve's final thoughts, and I'll take it to the audience. In terms of new music, can we expect any new music in the midst from Reverend and the Makers?
There's a new album recorded. Obviously we had a little kind of Christmas hit. We got 5-hit chart. We were very pleased with that. Raised a bunch of money for the Samaritans at Christmas. And then that's going to be on a new album that I've recorded here in Sheffield. Obviously, I don't want to do it like Noel. It's best album since definitely maybe, but it's best thing I've ever done. It's class. And I've played Steve a couple of tunes. He's heard of it.
Brilliant, great catcher.
Well, I was going to ask you about that as well. Are you a Reverend and the Makers fan?
I saw them in Boardwalk 2004, maybe earlier, with Hactics, Milburn. Brilliant. Me and Annika were all around that scene. Cause I used to live near Cookie's dad, guitarist dad at Monkeys, and he went, Steve, come downtown with your Nick. Because we used to go and watch Jam Tribute Band Double M. Have a great night. And then they all came on scene, Little Man Tate and all that. We used to go gigging all the time. Brilliant. So I'm a massive fan. I'll be emotional, me, on September.
What's your favourite song, Steve?
Yours, Heavyweight. That's that Heavyweight Champion at World. I said to our Nicky, that's fucking about me, Dad. Go off, Steve. I can't wait. Our Nicky's buzzing for it. She loves live music.
Fantastic. And a final word from you, Steve, before I take it to the audience, and we will have some media breakout opportunities as well. What message do you have for your fans out there, your Royal Oak FC fans and music fans in Sheffield?
Listen, life's complicated. I go online and it's, he said that, they said that, they're into this, they said that, you can't do this, you can't do that. It fucking does me head in. Best things in life are simple. And one of the simple pleasures of life is standing in a field with a load of people, singing songs, having a pint. And that's it. And that's what, and it says on my club badge, together as one. And what Rev's just described here, I can't think of, exemplifies that. Sorry, I'm nervous because press it here. For 50, me and Nicky spent 45 quid on the Chinese Friday nights. Yeah. We can't stand sat on each other. So 50 quid to go in a field to escape each other easily. Fucking right back.
Well, I couldn't have put it better. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Unless you chaps have got anything else to add before I leave you for now.
No, open it.
We'll open it up. So has anybody got any questions for the lads whilst we're here? And then if anyone wants any one-on-ones of the chaps together, then just let me know.
Yeah.
And before we do that, big round of applause for the legend that is Steve Bracknall and Jon McClure.
Hiya, Alf from Sheffield Star. What's me, John, please? There's a
Sorry, mate.
No, that's all right.
Is that Bob the Bucket?
Yeah.
Well, answer it, Steve. Thank you. Go on.
Oh, it is Bob the
Morning,
Bucket.
Bob! Through door! Do you know that thing that you pull handle and then push it? I can hear you. Someone let Bob in, please. I'll tell you what he's brought me.
What, Mike? Comedian.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob the Bucket.
I'd like to meet Bob, Steve. I've never met him.
My club physio, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Lovely to meet you, Bob.
Not officially qualified, but did 10 years with St John's Ambulance. Volunteer.